Friend, I'm going to share with you the exact blueprint of how I won life on my own terms and escaped the society trap that during school I knew I didn't want to be a part of. I was dreading the time where I would finish school and had to work out how to fit within this world. I went through university and I did okay at university, but the only thing that really made sense to me was sport and being my best. And I couldn't understand culture where being your best wasn't part of the norm. So I always felt like a bit of an odd one out. I always knew that I didn't want to go down that path of drinking and alcohol. All my friends were doing that and sort of fell into it for a while. And I just knew there had to be something else. And so I kept fighting towards that Olympic dream. That was the only thing that really made sense. Like, be your best, keep working hard at this, and you might get to go to the Olympics. But at some point, when I read a lot of history and I started thinking more deeply, following up the references in some of the music that I was listening to, I was like, there's more to this. I got to work it out. Like, I got to understand history. I need to understand economics. I need to understand politics. So I quit my Olympic dream and I quit working in professional sport. I'd finished exercise science and I got what would be a dream job for a lot of graduates. I was working as a massage therapist and assistant with a rugby team and we're getting good results. And I had a career ahead of me with that. But I had that feeling that there's something more. I need to be doing something else. So I quit and I bought a ticket to travel around the world, and that ended up turning into sort of the next 6 years, really, going backwards and forwards between Latin America. I spent 3 years over there, just looking for a great place and a great way to live and, you know, exploring different cultures, meeting different people. And what I found was that I just couldn't find a place where I felt at home. I couldn't find a culture that I really wanted to be a part of, that I could be a part of. And so it was tough. It was really tough. Like I met great people and it was valuable to learn Spanish and have all those experiences, but I knew that I hadn't found it. I knew that I didn't know. So I went back to professional sport. I was a bit broken physically. I was broke financially, getting towards the end of my 20s. And it's like, you know, I'd like to have a family one day. Like, how am I going to do this? I'd stayed outside of the society trap and I'd sort of lived life on my own terms to an extent, but I was in a world of hurt as well. So I went back into professional sport. I was lucky to get an opportunity to work with the Catalans Dragons. And the team did really well. They'd come last the year before. They did really well the 2 years that I was there. And I enjoyed it. I rebuilt myself and I rebuilt confidence in myself, rebuilt my body, got into my training again, and it helped. And then I got a job with the Sydney Roosters, and the Roosters weren't tipped to do very well, and we won and set all kinds of records. And I had confidence again of like, I can contribute to something, I can do something. And my body was better, my mind was better, but I still had that feeling that I need to do something. You know, this is not what I'm meant to be doing. I'm meant to be having the impact that I was looking to have in Latin America, working in different cooperatives and agricultural endeavors and education programs, organic farming. And I knew I was meant to be doing something else. And so I left professional rugby league, even though my daughter was just born and it was probably a risky move. I'd never had a business before, but decided to make my own business, and it was educating coaches. And I thought I'd teach coaches to win in professional sports like I'd done, but it turned out the coaches who were most interested were personal trainers who, you know, actually were a bit more financially motivated, and they wanted to make more money. So they wanted to be better to make more money, where a lot of the people who wanted to work in professional sports kind of think that having a master's and a PhD is going to help them get there. Maybe it does for some. But yeah, I coached coaches, and I still sort of had this bigger picture thing of like, what if these gyms were just so amazing that they really transformed people's lives and perception of the world, and people kind of, you know, we were collectively sort of woken to possibilities of a different economic structure and system and different values. Like, what if we could start developing the land again and really value developing ourselves and education, you know, that goes beyond just being fit, but, you know, being strong mentally, being flexible mentally. And it was sort of working. We had some really good results, and I loved working with the coaches, but it didn't trickle down as much as I might have hoped for the gyms. And I was sort of frustrated with it and tried different ways to make it work. And eventually I left behind that real movement and started to work more with Ben Patrick, ATG. And I could see that ATG was the thing that I wanted to be a part of in terms of changing the way the world trains for better. And it's something I've been passionate about all the way through, from the Olympic dream, etc. I had a lot of injuries, overuse injuries, like a lot of people, and I saw that ATG is going to change that for the next generation, and it is changing that, and I want to be a part of that. But I still had this other thing of like, there's bigger questions to answer here. Like, how do we create living environments that people thrive in, that get the most out of life. And that's still the question that I want to answer. Like, the culture of elite sport is good, but what about if that was available to everybody? Like, what if there was a great culture that you could be a part of, digitally and physically? So that's what we're building with Uncommon Success. It's the culmination of all of these journeys and all these challenges. It's organic farming, it's gyms and training, it's athletic, richer, smarter. Getting yourself to a point of economic success where you can afford to do the things that you want. The ultimate escape from society trap is what Uncommon Success is. And so I've brought together like all the things that I've learned and what I've had to do to keep myself on track and to be successful, to develop my discipline and habits and consistency. And the things that I value most are connecting to other people who are on a really good path. Like, working with Ben Patrick has been extremely valuable. I can give you lots of names of people that have had a big impact on my life, and it's those human connections that really mean the most. But a lot of online education is kind of transactional, and there's no human side to it. There's no real deep connection. And so that's what I want to change as well, where you actually feel connected to the people you're getting education from, and there's an ongoing relationship. And so the Uncommon Success app really helps us to be able to connect together and kind of, links mentors and also teammates, people who are at similar stages and levels. Connecting regularly with other people, I think, is one of the most proven ways to succeed and to accelerate your journey. Not just that, but actually for mental health as well. Like, feeling socially isolated is one of the worst things for mental health. And so the opposite of that is also true. If you feel really connected to people who are doing great things, anything's possible. And I've been really socially isolated the last couple of years. Having these communities, this community in particular, gives my life a lot more meaning and helps me to stay on track. And so I can see that working for a lot of other people, where they feel energized, they feel on task, they feel on point. And so the connections aspect is a huge part. And then action accountability is the second part of what we're doing with Uncommon Success inside of the app, where you check off daily that you're getting things done. You have to get things done. You have to make stuff. If you don't get things done, there's no possibility. So a lot of people have the dream, but they're getting 5-10% of what they could be getting done if they were actually focused, if they had some accountability, they had some support. So if the action accountability system of the Uncom 25 helps you to get an extra 10-20% out each month, then cumulatively that's going to make a massive difference. Even 1% a month is definitely worth taking the win on. And as far as investments go, like, the best investment you can make is yourself. Like, if you become valuable, then it doesn't matter what the markets do. It doesn't matter, what happens with your government. It doesn't matter. If you're valuable, if you're confident in yourself, if you know you've got great things to offer, then you're in a secure position. And that's where I want you to be. And I want you to have life on your own terms. I've been able to win beyond what I thought was possible. And the fun now is in seeing others do the same. And obviously I've still got a lot more I want to do. And we can only really do it as a bigger group of people, to build these physical villages and digital villages, to see what humans are really capable of. And I feel like it's a really, really important time for this opportunity to exist. When you get excited from watching Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson or something, like, where do you go after that? You can go deeper into the content, but we know that doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually change very many people's lives, or they feel very isolated on the journey if they do happen to take some action on the back of that content. So we've got physical projects, physical locations, business support. It's about you achieving your business with Uncommon Success. Like, we want you to have financial abundance so that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to build villages, great. But whatever your bigger picture solution is, I want you to have the money to be able to do that, for money not to be the limitation. And so that is the journey of Uncommon Success. Of course, there's courses there as well. So you can learn specific new knowledge on areas like sales and copywriting, things like your training, learning to do handstands and juggle. All of these tools that you're going to learn are the exact things that helped me to transform my mind and my perception of myself. Juggling and handstands were massive. Getting to elite body composition, or at least a decent body composition. I never thought I would be able to get to the lean muscular physique that I have been able to achieve, because I worked so hard for it in my teens and 20s and it just wasn't working. But I didn't have the right systems and the right information. So all of that is within the education, but then there's that accountability and connection support so that you actually apply it and consistently get better. It's not something that you do for a month and then you forget about it. No one else cares because no one really supported you anyway. Now you have that support. Now you have those people around you that care, and we want to see you transform over the years. Like, this is a long-term thing where if you keep getting better month after month, you're not going to know yourself 12 months from now. Like, even some of the 3-month and 6-month stories already in Uncommon Success, it's like night and day. Like, people are into the light. They're loving life and they're making changes. They're making more money than they thought they could. They've launched new businesses. It's not perfect, and it's not, it's not a magic thing. Like, you just have to do the work. But it is a success system. It's what's worked for me. I've built multiple $1 million businesses, and I want friends who do the same and who've done the same. And we're starting to get some attention from some people out there who have done very well with millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, who want to do something good. And we're building these villages in Vanuatu, Montenegro, Bali. There's a lot more that we can do. So we need the resources, but more importantly, we need to be the kind of people that will have success. So I hope that makes sense. This has been my journey to Uncommon Success, and I hope that there's some things here that resonate with you, that you can see, well, yeah, I went through that as well, with the injuries, or with doubting yourself, or with just not knowing what the next step was, or missing key skills in business, or key connections, people that could help you out and show you a different path. If that is you, then you found it. You found something that can make a difference and can get you on the path. I've mentored lots of coaches, like hundreds of coaches over the years. Mostly I was offering a $10,000 a year in-person education process, and then $100 a month was sort of the real movement that I offered. I've deliberately made this $97 a year, $2 a week, so that anyone can get involved. And I want to have people involved from more countries and different countries, and make it less scary to get started, because I know that once you get started, anything is possible. So I've made it more accessible than anything that I've done before, and it's better than anything that I've done before. The technology is better. It's all the information from what I've built all over the years, like tens of thousands of dollars worth of content, and I'm better. I've done more, and we're building these physical villages as well. So there's the opportunity to actually come and stay. I want to have people come and do gap years at these locations, and build a garden, and train every day, train twice a day, eat great food, have great conversations. There's just possibilities with the physical locations that a digital community can't do what the physical locations can't. So I'm very excited for it. I don't know anything out there that's even close to what we're doing in terms of the goals of the project and sort of the execution. I hope there are more projects like this, and I would love if there were hundreds of people doing similar things that we could link up with and connect with. And yeah, I'm all in to support you. That's the thing with Uncommon Success, is it's not like one system and you doing my thing. It's you doing what you want to do, and just actually really taking it seriously and having support behind you, having a team behind you so that you get it done. And so, yeah, I hope that makes sense. And please get back to whoever sent you this video, or if it was me, send me your thoughts, because ultimately, it comes down to you. Like, one by one, we either decide to live life on our own terms and escape the society trap, or we don't. We submit, we think we're going to do it on our own. We buy course after course, we invest tens of thousands of dollars in course and course and course that we don't actually do. We don't really apply. I've been there, I've been in all these situations. And this is your shot, like, this is your chance. I don't think you're going to get another opportunity like this. I don't know of one like it. If there is anything else out there for $2 a week that is offering anything close to what we're talking about here, like, please let me know. But yeah, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to see you transform. I'd love you to be here, come and visit me, or visit one of the other locations. It's not even about me. There's so many great people in this community that you're going to meet all around the world. Dozens of them have already said, like, yeah, come and stay. I've got this set up. So I didn't even mention that side of it, but it's, a literal, thing where any country that you go to in the world, if you have trouble, like, there's good people there. And you might think, well, why would someone who's in Uncommon Success help me out if I got trouble when I went to Greece or whatever? You'll see, like, there's a lot of trust in this community. Once you actually do the work, once you do the juggling, you do the handstands, you do the calls, you develop your business, there's all kinds of ways to earn the trust. You don't have to do it through the handstands and the juggling. There's people who never do that stuff who I trust very deeply, but it's like a fast way to show that it's not just talk for you, like, you're actually doing things. there's almost nobody who can do the things that I've been able to do physically. I'm not saying that to brag, it's just a fact that I've done a lot of work. Like 5-ball juggling, 90-second handstands, standing backflip, 100-kilo snatch. How many people have you met in person who've done those things? And there's nothing special about me. Like, I was a really poor athlete. Like, I was so slow that even my dad said, like, you know, you're never going to be fast. And I couldn't put any muscle on. I ended up being one of the fastest. I ended up being one of the more muscular players. But yeah, you got to do the work, and that's what I want for you. I want your hero's journey. You know, I've achieved more than I thought I could, but just getting started. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do together. I want to see you win. I want to be on your team. I want to connect you with good people who are doing good things, who can help you along your path. There are a number of professional athletes in this community. There are millionaires. There's people from all different backgrounds. So here's your invitation. Let's do this. Talk to you soon.